easily. I'm just convinced. I'm not sure which one to go for, but whatever one it is, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to get this one nailed on the head as quickly as I biologically can. I'm looking forward to that being done anyway. I'm going to get some news when it pertains pro wrestling. We have Finn Balor last night at a house show in Nashville, injuring his ankle. This has been announced on lots of dirt sheets, news reporting sites, whatever you'd like to call them. Was announced that Finn Balor has potentially injured his ankle, but then it was made official later on this evening. In fact, WWE.com themselves did an article claiming that Finn Balor is actually injured. It didn't say the extent of the injury, but with TakeOver in Dallas coming up, obviously they're going to want to draw big numbers. So it makes sense for Balor still to be there because, part of NXT with the ticket sales, it could be down to him. He is the NXT champion. Wrestling terms, the house is on the champion. For instance, if the house is great that night, the man who is the man, which is the world champion, he'll be the one responsible for that. Well, obviously the only one, but he'll be partially responsible. So for Finn Balor, it's a huge blow. What does this mean for the NXT title match at NXT TakeOver Dallas? I do not read spoilers myself, so I do not know what that match is. If you do know, please do not tell me. That I was going to say then, because I did find out from the rumor mill what the NXT TakeOver matches when it pertains to Shinsuke Nakamura. I won't give it on the broadcast because I know lots of people get bashed and offended when I give out spoilers, so that won't be done. So make sure you keep these live comments coming because I'm definitely going to get to the question regarding pro wrestling. That's what I want it to be. Also, SmackDown's TV ratings are in. They got a 1.86 TV rating. And I'm going to explain to you, in case you don't really know, what's the difference between TV rating and viewership. The TV rating, is a percentage out of 100, obviously. And basically, for instance, this SmackDown got a 1.86. That means 1.86% of America who was watching TV, who had their TV turned on, watched SmackDown. That's really not that great. I mean, Impact normally gets like a 0.0001. So I guess they're doing better than that. I mean, that's why Raw normally gets like a 2 point something. That's why because I'll be honest, for a few years when everyone talked about the TV ratings and they gave, like, for instance, just say they gave Raw a 2.4. I always thought that meant 2.4 million. It was only until I recently really understood when I did my business class school what that is. So that's in case you didn't know. The viewership figures wise, though, is SmackDown got 2.664 million, which is down from 2.73 something last week. So, it's a huge dip. 100,000 people did not decide to watch SmackDown that watched it last week. Disappointing for SmackDown, but I think now SmackDown on the USA Network for a few weeks, I think now this is what we're going to get. This is the standard bearer now. In between the 2.6 and the 2.8 is what we're going to get each and every week for SmackDown. You have my word for that. Until WrestleMania, I guarantee you, unless there's something big, like for instance next week is AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho, that's going to be an absolute fucking incredible match. And if you're wondering where my SmackDown review is, I'm going to be doing one tomorrow as well as a main event review. It's just today I was on the Smart Come Up podcast a couple of hours ago. It was their 1 year anniversary gimmick and they asked me if I wanted to come on. I said yes, of course I'll come on. Now I'm going to do this news and Q&A. So SmackDown main event review, that'll be tomorrow. That means I've got to sit down and watch SmackDown. That means I've got to sit down and watch main event. Hopefully main event is as good as last week's. And if you haven't watched my review of main event, if you enjoy positive me, then go watch that. If you want to watch negative me, go watch my show I did yesterday on TNA Impact Wrestling, because I tell you what, I let rip into those imbecilic nimrods. And there was this one fan, in particular, I remember, because I sent a message to Coco off air. I said, look, check out this. I typed in the number 31.41. No, 31.39. I apologize. I digress. 31.39. Time-wise for the Impact review, this lady asked, AJ Styles is an idiot, yet the whole time for the previous 30 minutes, she's been in the live comments defending TNA, saying TNA is great, TNA is great, TNA is better than WWE, TNA is better than Lucha Underground, TNA is better than Ring of Honor. Then she said AJ Styles sucks. I let loose. I tell you what, 31 minutes, 39 seconds in, I went loose, and I was tempted to clip that and upload it as a file itself onto the channel, but I thought, better not, just in case Coco didn't approve of that, and I didn't bother to ask, I didn't really care. But anyway, SmackDown sticking around that ratings, and that's what they're comfortable again. So in my opinion, looking at this, SmackDown does not attract any casual non-wrestling fan viewers. No casual person who's watching television on a Thursday night, I'll check out SmackDown. No, that doesn't happen because they don't promote SmackDown, okay? They don't. This is typical WWE. They present you with things. They never, ever promote them. That's one of the big issues they have. So the way I see this, really simple. You got 2.6 million people every week watch WWE. They're the hardcore wrestling fans, because the hardcore wrestling fans watch Raw and SmackDown. The casual viewers just watch Raw. So say, for instance, this week we've got 3.2 million was the average for Monday Night Raw. That means 600,000 of them are casual viewers. Okay. 4.2 million the week before means we had 1.6 million casual viewers, which is great, because obviously The Rock, he attracts the casual viewers. It's not common sense things, is it? Well, it is common sense. But in the end of the day, I digress. Bullshit. Dempsey's been released this week. Get in there, my son. If there's one sack of shit who I wanted to be released more than anything in the world, was Bull Dempsey. Next, I want Baron Corbin to go, because they're the guys that, you know, the internet are like, oh, they're really good. They're really good heels because you hate them because they suck. Apologize to Rick Rude. Apologize to Rick Rude. Anyone out there? Jesus wept. I'm so happy Bull Dempsey's been released. I already am. I put a meme out there that I sat here spinning on my chair, listening to the song of "If You Build a Sports Entertainer from the Ground Up, You Get Randy Orton," whilst reading the news that Bull Dempsey's been released. But the shocking part for me is Bull Dempsey's blocked me on Twitter. Okay, Bull Dempsey. My hatred for Bull Dempsey is so passionate. Some way, somehow, Bull Dempsey knows. Okay, but Bull Dempsey doesn't watch. So Bull Dempsey, if you're listening to this, can you not ever wrestle again? Because you suck. Okay. So that being said, you know, Bull Dempsey does listen to the show, but he blocked me because I bash him on the show every single time. But Bull Dempsey doesn't watch anyway. I digress. Enough of that lollygagging around and thinking about that stupidity. But he blocked me, so I couldn't see his tweet. It was announced that he got released by his tweet. So when people are retweeting, it says this tweet is unavailable for me to see because the man blocked me. He blocked me. It's not I blocked him. It's like I blocked John Cena. On my social media, I blocked John Cena because he posts these absolutely ridiculous gym things that I just don't give a fuck about. Like, stay strong, stay humble, hashtag hustle, loyalty, respect. Fuck off. I get enough of that from you on TV every Monday night. I was going to say Tuesday night, but he's too lazy and doesn't do tapings. So, yeah, Bull Dempsey's been released. That's great news for me. Apparently, he's going along with the names of Bull James, and he's already got his first booking. I wish him nothing but the worst in his future endeavors. Awesome Kong has also been released from TNA. That was a couple of days ago now. And this is what is strange to me. You know, it was because of an incident with Rebby Sky, which is Fat Hardy's wife, which I talked about on this week's edition of TNA Impact Wrestling Review. That was a very funny show. You probably enjoy that a lot. If you enjoy rants, if you enjoy Raven, if you enjoy just me absolutely obliterating some of these live commenters, and I felt bad at one point because I was literally just calling them dumb fucks. But at the same time, it had to be done. And we're probably going to get loads of dislikes on this video because I just bashed TNA, and I do apologize. I do apologize. I bashed WWE Light TNA. I digress. Back to the point of Awesome Kong. Apparently, the gimmick was that she got fired because backstage altercation with Rebby Sky, Fat Hardy's wife. To me, the backlog, the history of this, there is a backstory to this, okay? According to some people, Rebby Sky and Awesome Kong had heat previously, and the reason why she got released is because basically Rebby Sky went into the women's locker room to get changed. Awesome Kong threw her bags out, saying, look, don't get changed in here. Rebby Sky then obviously blah, 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 blah. Awesome Kong pinned her up to the locker. Awesome Kong's now released. The issue I have with this is Awesome Kong is a part of the women's wrestling roster. Okay, Rebby Sky is an on-air character accompanied by Matt Hardy. So basically, this is what TNA is saying. We care more about Matt Hardy's wife than an active women's wrestler. That's the way I see it, and I see it damn right. Firstly, if Rebby Sky knows Awesome Kong has heat with her, why go in that dressing room? Secondly, you're not a wrestler, so don't go in the dressing room. It's the equivalent to me, you know, just coming with, I'm a podcast, okay? I'll go in there and say, look, I'm a podcaster, so if I get changed in here with you wrestlers? No, you're not a wrestler, don't get changed in here. Rebby Sky is the same. And you know what? I think Awesome Kong was in the right. Rebby Sky was in the wrong, but maybe that's because I hate Matt Hardy and I hate Matt Hardy's parents for giving birth to the cunt. I very rarely call people cunt, but that's what that man is. He's a sack of shit, and I have no time for him. 3 likes, 0 dislikes. That's good stuff. If we got Q&A, we have fucking questions. Here we go. So the questions are what going to keep this going. So basically, this show is going to go in as long as the comments go on. Ray Mustani says your mic is not working. Really? Looks to me like it's fixed. I'm just going to have a quick test of this. Yep, my mic's working. That's all good. How serious is Baylor's injury? Please repeat what you were saying. Never mind, it's working. Okay. You lost 4 and gained 2 since the TNA review. That's from Ray Mustang. Yeah. Basically, what it is that means the 4 subs were lost from the TNA review. And the 2 subs were probably gained from the Lucha Underground review, from the previous Raw review, from, you know, the NXT review, from the Ring of Honor review. They all get gained up. We can't exactly see why, because the analyst on YouTube sucks cock, but that's a different story. Are you doing another podcast, Ray Mustani? That's from Ray Mustani. No, this is going to be it for me for the night. I'm going to put this one in. I'm going to put it in the can. Then after this, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to watch Chuck, or I'm going to watch Sherlock. I'm not sure. I might flip a coin live on air. If put in the comments, what would you prefer to watch, Chuck or Sherlock? And I'll definitely do that for you guys. But that's curious about the mic not working. SmackDown was better than Raw. I'm going to give SmackDown a watch in a minute. Mohammed Faze Danielle, I'm sorry if I absolutely just slaughtered your fucking name there. I do apologize. You felt that Bader's injury will affect how the NXT Championship race. Yeah, I do feel that Bader's injury will affect it. But again, because NXT was taped a few weeks ago, I think we could be okay. So let's just fingers crossed that Bader's injury isn't that serious. WWE.com didn't really release much. All we know is he's on crutches, which obviously means it's kind of bad. They don't want him walking on it, but that might just be precaution. I do not know spoilers, so I don't know who's the number 1 contender heading into NXT TakeOver Dallas in a few months. But again, it's a big thing. You know, maybe they could cut it and do a tournament at NXT TakeOver Dallas. You know, there's lots of things they could do, and that's what's good about NXT being, you know, taped a lot longer in advance. It gives the talents time to recover. But now with them on the road and, you know, these injuries, everyone's saying, hey, look, WWE, cut the schedule. No, WWE has been doing this schedule, this hard hitting on the road all the time now for the past, 10, 15 years at least. The reason why people are getting injured is because the style on the house shows that they are wrestling. They are wrestling balls to the wall, okay, non-stop hard-hitting pro wrestling. Don't slow the fucker down. Slow it down. Work the crowd. Enhance some in-ring cycle. You always hear me come on and say, look, they didn't work a body part. That pissed me off. Work the body part. Your finishers are figure 4 leg lock. Dissect the leg the whole match. There's no way you could get injured. Charlotte Flair could never get injured if she just did what Ric Flair did. Look at Ric Flair's career, how many times he got injured. Hardly any. Because what he did is he was psychological. He was methodically dissecting body parts night in, night out by doing simple moves. You know, chop block, working the leg. Really simple stuff that doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out. Any chance SmackDown will pass through 3 million viewers? Maybe. I mean, next week, AJ versus Jericho. That could be interesting. Again, just make sure you keep checking up on the updates on ProWrestling.me, because I'm up to date on the TV ratings now. I'm usually pretty good uploading them. Raymond Stanley, was CM Punk versus Cena the best feud of the PGO? That's a great shout. You know, lots of people, yeah, I probably would. I mean, I love the stuff back in Money in the Bank 2011, and they had the stuff in the summer of 2012. I think it is a great feud, and CM Punk brought the best out of John Cena. Cena brought the best out of CM Punk. It really was good. Why don't they make SmackDown live? Because basically, if they made it live on a Thursday, the production team would, you know, they would have to go for Sunday. This is what they do right now, okay? They go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's Sunday when it's pay-per-view weekend. When it's pay-per-view weekend, they work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, then they go home, okay? If they did SmackDown Live, they'd have to do Monday, then go home, then come back for Thursday, and it just makes financial sense to just say, hey, look, we'll do it all in one hit. If SmackDown was live on a Tuesday, aired live on Tuesday on the USA Network, then that'll be a different story. I do not know why. Probably financial. TNA fans are worse than WWE defenders. Oh, I fucking agree. I agree. You felt the bullfit gimmick is such a letdown in your opinion. See, why are you telling me you felt that the bullfit gimmick? Do you? Oh, sorry, you're Mohammed. Okay, yeah. I'm English. Okay, so here's some pointers to you. Do you feel? Not you felt. It's do you feel? Okay, so look, this is an educational show right here, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, right now, I'm teaching the masses. Okay, no, I just hate Bull Dempsey. I don't care what his gimmick could have been. His head was down the toilet and his feet were in the air, and I wouldn't have given a fuck. TNA is going to sign Bull Dempsey. I'm probably shocked he hasn't signed him already. If you lose subscribers, then they are not true subscribers to the channel. Continue with what you're doing now. Yeah, the difference is, though, you know, in the end, it's all about numbers, because the more subscribers you have, I don't want to talk about that, because that was one of the things that I was told to stop doing, and that's just talking about the statistics of the site and the statistics of the channel, which I feel is more of a personal effect. That's just it. Did you hear Matt Hardy helps Crave? I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all. It doesn't surprise me that fat prick's been on creative. I mean, look at the state of the program. He's an awful wrestler. He must be an awful writer at the same time. Yeah, I heard Matt Hardy, and it's just sad. I mean, people bash Triple H, being creative and putting the belt on himself, but at least Triple H is a draw, and you cannot deny that, because the night after H won the World Championship, Raw was up to a 4.2 million viewers. Now H wasn't on the show last week. Boom, we're back down to 3 million. There is a difference, okay? People have the name value and the brand of Triple H. It's really simple, but people just don't care about ratings. They just don't look into them enough, and it doesn't anger me. It disappoints me, and it's really strange how people really do not care about the ratings, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Sorry about that. I'm just checking live comments. Raymond Stanley says Chuck. Thank you. That's what I'll go for. I'll go for Chuck. It wasn't Chuck or Sherlock. I'm going to go for Chuck. If loving Chuck is wrong, I never want to be right. How would you book the main event of Fastlane? Oh, that's an absolutely great question. I do believe, okay, because obviously I did the fancy booking of WrestleMania. It's such an easy and predictable outcome to have Roman Reigns win by pinning Dean Ambrose, and then having Brock Lesnar, getting taken out by the Wyatt family, leading to Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar at Mania, leading to Roman Reigns versus Triple H at Mania. But what you could do is you could have Brock Lesnar still get taken out by the Wyatt family, still have that happen, but then have Dean Ambrose pin Roman Reigns clean in the middle of the ring, have Roman Reigns start moaning, start being a little bitch, Reigns versus Taker, because Taker needs someone to carry him, because it's what happens when you get old. Okay, so Reigns can carry Taker. Dean Ambrose goes on to face Triple H for the World Championship. On an episode of Raw, Chris Jericho wins his 10th Intercontinental Championship from Dean Ambrose because Triple H costs him the match, leading to heat between Triple H and Dean Ambrose. And then AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho can be for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. So look, we're changing on the fly. Living life in the fast lane, no pun intended. By the way, hello from Malaysia. Forgot to introduce myself. You can call me F.D. Okay, FD, that's what I'll call you if I forget. Just make sure you keep putting FD on your name. Raymond Stanley, it's not the schedule, it's the matches they are doing. I heard Seth Rollins wrestle Kane for a month straight before he got injured in extreme matches. Yeah, it's they need to just slow it down. Like, for instance, he shouldn't have been doing a sunset flip powerbomb off the top rope. It's a fucking house show. The crowd are, you go to a house show to have a good time. You should work the crowd. Look at back in 1980s. They didn't have to do all that. They had the crowd on their feet. It's working the crowd. I know times have changed, but you can go back and do that style. I mean, house shows, when they come to here, they put no effort in. They put zero effort in. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. I respect that. Because obviously, I want these guys to be safe. And you can still get to see your wrestlers live in person. Do the show live on Tuesday. Yeah, that's what they should do, but I think it's financial. Thanks for pointing out my English area, my friend. Yeah, no problem, FD. No problem. Do you think Cena should have turned heel versus Punk at Money in the Bank? No, I think the way how it planned out was absolutely gold, and that's probably WWE creative team's PG-0's best work for sure. If FD puts, I might not be perfect in terms of English skills, but I'm learning. Yeah, it's all about learning. That's why I didn't rip you. I was going to rip you to shreds, but then I saw it was Mohammed Faiz Dahal or something like that. So I thought, okay, maybe he's not, English might not be his first language. So no problem. At least you have more subscribers than fucking Straight Shoot. Yeah, but Straight Shoot is strange. I don't want to go off on a rant about Straight Shoot, because in the end of the day, I just couldn't be that, that way. It's a gimmick. They work you. He has his patron gimmick where people pay to have him talk. It's just, we could do that, but it's not. Road Dogg has got to be the #1 best WWE defender. Oh, yes, Jesus. I saw Road Dogg's comments earlier. It made me laugh. Fans should just watch pay-per-views and the Raw after the pay-per-views, because that's when it's the best. Do you agree? Oh, yes. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, sometimes Raw after pay-per-views suck, depending on how good the pay-per-view was. If there was a major shock on the pay-per-view and WWE has some momentum, usually the Raw and the SmackDown after was good. But normally, the pay-per-views aren't normally that good. Just saw a photo of Bayley carried injured Bader at the NXT show. Wow. It's on No DQ's website. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I have no problem with No DQ at all. Are you going to watch Sasha versus Bayley up, down, down? I might do. I might, if it pops up on my subscription box on my YouTube gimmick. I'll definitely check those jobbers out. That's what I'll definitely do. While we're in the middle of this, I'll go back to some quick news. The NXT Nashville results, where Finn Balor did get injured. Here are the results. You have Asuka defeating Alexa Bliss. Blake and Murphy defeating Gargano and Ciampa, Nia Jax defeating Billie Kay, Sami Zayn defeating Baron Corbin, American Alpha, which is Jason Jordan and Chad Gable defeating Dash and Dawson via disqualification, Bayley defeating Emma, Baylor defeating Samoa Joe. That sounds like a great card. I wouldn't mind being there. Fucking hell, just listen to this. You could have saw Asuka versus Bliss. That could have been good. And then you had Stain Corbin. That could have been good. JJ and Gable versus Dash Dawson. That could have been good. Bayley and Emma. That could have been great. Baylor versus Joe. I've seen their match live in person. It's incredible. That sounds like a great house show. That does sound like a great house show, and I wouldn't mind if I was at that house show, if I'll be honest with you. We got any more live comments? Baylor is on crutches, by the way. Yeah. I mentioned that earlier when I was talking about Finn Balor's injury at the top of the show. Very sad news. Obviously, again, it's going to affect TakeOver Dallas. It just depends on how serious the ankle injury, and I just pray it's not bad. Also, some sad news this week. We had Axel Rotten passing away due to drug overdose at the age of 44. That's very sad. Obviously, thoughts and condolences go out to his family and his friends in the business. It's really upsetting. I mean, I always come in here and I rip deathmatch wrestling, but I respect the fact what they do. I respect the fact that they put their bodies on lines for that type of fan. There is types of fan, and being a deathmatch fan, I have nothing against that. If you love deathmatch wrestling, I'm not going to call you an idiot. I'm not going to call you wrong. I'm going to say, hey, that's your opinion. You enjoy deathmatch wrestling. Good for you, and I respect that. And obviously, he's one of, like, I'm not the biggest ECW fan because of that, but if I had to name 20 guys in ECW, he would still be on that list. That's how much I know about him. I know he was a team with Balls Mahoney. It's just very sad here in passing. And it's ridiculous. I mean, every time I turn on the Twitter machine in the morning on my phone, I check the trending and just pray any legendary wrestler or former wrestler isn't on there, because I just worried they're going to pass. They're dropping like flies and needs to stop. And then you got, Bret Hart diagnosed with cancer this week. It's just a sad state of affairs, But Bret Hart, the best there is, the best was, the best there ever damn will be. And one of the all-time greats, a pioneer for technical workers all around the world, really took technical wrestling to the mainstream. I thank him so much for that. If it wasn't Bret Hart, maybe technical wrestling wouldn't be as mainstream. It is like guys like Zack Sabre Jr. wouldn't be over. I'm just such a fan of Bret Hart. I respect the living shit out of him. And Dolph Ziggler on this week's Raw, go rewatch it. He took a buckle and he took it chest first, like Bret Hart used to do, and it's just a great little nuances like that. So good job, Dolph Ziggler, for doing that. And obviously the commentators didn't pick it up because the hardcore wrestling fans knew what was going on, and it was very, very sad. And obviously I wish nothing but Bret Hart the best, and hopefully he keeps fighting the good fight. That's really sad. How bad would it be if RH along with TNA? Well, that's from Raymond Stanley. I don't think they will. I think they're taking over TNA. I've just seen some photographs of Ring of Honor's TV taping in Nashville. Bro, the set is fucking WWE standard. I'm legit shoot. This is a shoot. This isn't a straight shoot. This is a shoot. This is straight. Okay. The Ring of Honor set looks WWE standard. I'm going to be honest with you. And that leads me on to the next topic. Daniel's re-signing with Ring of Honor. They're now signing people so that, NXT and WWE can't steal them from them. This is really smart. And I'm a huge Ring of Honor fan. I love the style that they bring. And to see the arena that packed, it sent chills up my spine. It really didn't. I hope, they come big and then they come over here, because they'd sell it out over here easily, any building. Well, not any building, obviously, within reason. But I think it would be absolutely amazing if Ring of Honor came over. I'd buy the tickets in a heartbeat. And speaking of that, I'll give you my schedule for what shows I'm going to. I'm going to Revolution Pro Wrestling on February the 17th at the Portsmouth Guildhall. March the 3rd, I'm going to Global Force Wrestling UK in London. April the 16th, I'm going to Revolution Pro Wrestling again, this time in Reading. I'm going to get to see Roderick Strong, Michael Elgin, Will Ospreay. It's a great card. And also on the first show I'm going to in just 10 days, it's going to have Zack Sabre Jr. versus Timothy Thatcher on. What an absolute clinic that's going to be. And then obviously WWE Raw and SmackDown on the 18th and 19th of April. So next 4 months, I've got 4 shows, and I'm really pumped and looking forward to them. It's going to be a great time. If any of you see me there, you can buy me a pint. Now, I'll make this deal. If any of you ever see me at a wrestling show and you know who I am, you actually know who I am, I will happily buy you a drink. How about that? See, look, making brainwaves, making shocks all around the world, swerving people left, right, and center today on this show. Let's see if we've got any more live comments. Here we go. American Alpha versus the New Day should be amazing. The crowd response would be insane. Just depends where it is, because WWE crowds, I find, is especially Monday Night Raw. It's the families who go, oh, do you guys want to go to the wrestling tonight? There's John Cena on the poster. Should we just go to the wrestling instead of, oh, I'm a hardcore wrestling fan, I'm going to go watch and support WWE because I love WWE. The issue is the hardcore wrestling fans do not want to pay for WWE because WWE sucks. So you get these families that go there. Why don't you like ECW? That's from Raymond Stanley. I like certain aspects of ECW. I'm a hater of deathmatch wrestling. I don't think it doesn't take any talent to jump off a thing and go for a table. Just my opinion. Or even American Alpha versus Lucha Dragons if Sin Cara is not in botch mode. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. When are GFW getting a TV deal? No clue. Wasn't TNA in the UK? Did you go? No, I didn't go. It was funny because at NXT Takeover, there was posters of Impact, and I'm like, I was with my friend that I go to most of the wrestling shows with, and I was like, I'm not going to that. The last TNA show I went to was back in 2010. That's the last time I went to a TNA house show, and I was tempted to go. I was going to go, but I decided not to go. Maybe that's wrong on me. Maybe I should have gone. Maybe the tapings were great, but I'm not emotionally invested in the product, and I'm not willing to pay for the product. That's just me personally. We also have CM Punk's first UFC fight. I have no interest in MMA. I have no interest in UFC. I have no interest in boxing. It says the guy who works at KocoSports.net. That's just I just have no interest. I don't get it. I sat there. I've watched many. I watched the Jones Cormier pay-per-view in its entirety, including the prelims. I enjoyed it because I put bets on all the matches and it made it interesting. But it was just so slow and so dull, and I was just there like, come on, let's pick it up a bit, okay? I'm used to pricing. Let's pick it up a bit. Let's start doing some in-ring psychology in there, boys. Let's start picking it up a bit. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of it, and I just can't get myself into UFC. Nothing against the guys. If you're into UFC, again, I have no issue with you liking UFC. That's your prerogative. But for me personally, I just don't enjoy UFC. I don't enjoy mixed martial arts. Did ECW change professional wrestling? Oh yes, of course. If it wasn't for ECW, there wouldn't be the Attitude Era. And I understand that, and I respect that. That's why you don't hear me. Like, I hate Bull Dempsey, I hate Zack Ryder, I hate Dave Meltzer. I bash them all the time. You never hear me say a bad word about ECW. Okay, I always say sometimes I'm not a fan of deathmatch wrestlings because I just don't like it. Most people thought that Will Ospreay versus Marty Scurll match recently was considered an early match of the year candidate. Agree. I'm halfway through watching that show. It's Revolution Pro Wrestling High Stakes 2016, if I'm right. I'm halfway through that at the moment, so there'll probably be a review of that match coming up. And the match I just watched, Big Damo versus Speedball Mike Bailey. That was incredible. So I'm looking forward to actually, watching and reviewing that. So in the next few weeks, be on the lookout for that review. CM Punk got so pissed when asked about WWE. Yeah, I saw that because I was reading some stuff on No DQ, and I read that he put that, and I was really shocked. Most people, should AJ talk more? No, maybe. If he needs to talk, he should talk. But in the end of the day, if his in-ring ability can get him over, then that's the way he should do. Because you can tell a story of your body, and he's great at it. Sorry for repeated comment. No, that's fine. Why did ECW run out of business? Dude, just go watch the rise and fall of ECW. It's an absolutely incredible documentary. If you have the network, if you go to the Beyond the Ring category gimmick, it's there. So just go there. It's going to give you a better answer than I'm going to give you. Basically, Paul Heyman's I don't want to give any false information in case there's going to be some guy, excuse me, the reason why ECW went out of business was because Paul Heyman's dick wasn't 7.6 inches. Like, I'm not going to go into details like that because someone will always come up and point me wrong, saying there's flaws in what you said, and I don't want to give them the chance to say I did wrong. So there you go. So you had your SmackDown TV rating, Baylor injured. There's your NXT results. Daniels signing with Ring of Honor, and that makes smart because, again, Red Dragon re-signed. Ring of Honor's tag team division is the best in the world, period. Not a question, it's a fact. Okay, so now you're signing these guys. You keep signing tag team wrestlers, and that's going to keep them. Daniels won't go to WWE now because he can't. Bobby Fischer, Kyle O'Reilly can't go to WWE because they can't. And that also means Daniels might be able to start working the New Japan shows a bit more, start making some more money. Because obviously he's coming to the end of his career because he's getting old. Obviously, I'm not saying he's going to retire anytime soon. I'm just saying he's getting old in age. Oof. Go back to some live comments. Revolution Pro Wrestling is considered the wrestling company everyone is talking about. Agree. Yeah, I love Rev Pro. I'm going to 2 of their shows in the next 3 months. I mean, like I said, I'm going to one in Portsmouth. I'm going to go to one in Reading. And I'm really looking forward to both those shows. I went to a Rev Pro show in November for Global Wars 2015. I saw Okada versus Will Ospreay, Tanahashi versus Big Damo, and then AJ Styles versus Jushin Liger in the main event. It really was incredible, and I really did love it. It was an absolutely incredible match. Incredible night, actually. It was just a great night. What else we got? How could you have booked the invasion angle? Bro, oh my good lord. Booking the invasion angle is so difficult. It really is difficult. I would have done, looking back at it, it wasn't actually that bad. I liked what they did with having Shane as the owner of one, Vince having the owner, but I wouldn't have had all the runnings that they did. I would have introduced them slowly. It would have been a very, 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 very slow build. It would have been a 2-year angle. slow build, introducing star after star. Because what they did is they introduced like a couple major stars like Booker T at the King of the Ring 2001. Then the next night, boom, you had all the ECW rosters, all the WCW rosters. And I would not have had guys like Taz and Dudley's jump ship back to ECW. That doesn't make sense. They're paid contract to WWE. It doesn't make any logical sense. I'd want it to be a shoot. I want it to be as real as possible. And actually, I would have legit, if I was Vince McMahon, I would have kept the TV deals for WCW. I would have kept the TV deals for ECW. And or if they ran out, I would have got new contracts. Because remember, WWE in 2001 was an absolute huge brand. It really was huge. I mean, the ratings were absolutely insane. I would have kept WCW on TV, kept ECW on TV. That way the workers are still getting paid. And then as they're on TV, when they come over to WWE and it's a live like broadcast, dual broadcast on Monday night, Nitro and Raw, just imagine how special that would have been. Okay, just imagine on Nitro, the main event was Sting versus Ric Flair. Because, they could have still stayed there. And then you could have had, Undertaker come in and just start boarding them. This is for what you did last week. Bomb, bomb, bomb. The crowd like, what the fuck's going on? There's actual invasion going on. Like, you would think there's legitimately an invasion going on. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have done personally. And then the next few years, gradually, at Survivor Series, WCW versus WWE versus ECW, three-way 5-on-5 at a Survivor Series. And guess what? It would have been over 3 buildings. Okay, so it'll be a triple threat. It would be 1-on-1 at ECW Arena, 1-on-1 in somewhere that Nitro went to a lot, Atlanta, Georgia, 1-on-1 in Connecticut. Okay, imagine this live pay-per-view. 1 hour there, 1 hour here, 1 hour there. And then the big Titantron they could have showed in each different shows. Then Survivor Series 2002, it could have been that. And just imagine how special that is. And then there's a 1-on-1 match that ends ECW where the winner of a triple threat, 1-on-1 triple threat, you absolute fucking toilet story is 2:02 a.m. You could have had 3 triple threats main eventing each different territory. The winners got that company over. It's like, for instance, if you did ECW versus WWE versus WCW, okay? So imagine this. Whoever at the end of the night has the most points, they stay in business. The other 2 leave. They're gone. Okay, so for instance, say all night you had 12 triple threat matches. Now, that's a lie. You want to give them time. Say you have 10 triple threat matches. Whichever company's wrestlers won the match, they get a point. And they could have done it in a scoreboard. They could have done it on Monday Night Raws. They could have done it on SmackDown. They could have done it on Nitro. They could have done it on ECW TV. Just do it slow build, slow build, slow build. Just I digress. That's just off the top of my head. That's what I'd have done. Okay, just made it back to the point of this has to be a shoot. It has to feel real. So I'd have done that by keeping both TV deals, ECW and TNN, Nitro and Thunder on TBS and TNT respectively. That's the way I would have done it. But I have nothing against the way how Vince did it. It's just that's the way I would have done it. Was Goldberg versus Lesnar the worst match of all time? Yeah, it was really poor. I hated that at Mania 20. It was really bad. Any chance Will Ospreay might score any other British wrestlers are WWE bound or will be WWE bound? That's from FD. Yeah, that's respectable. I could see that being happen. Marty Scurll, maybe he could be a great sports entertainer. Will Ospreay, maybe in a few years, but he's right now heading over to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's going to be part of the Super Junior tournament, which we're going to cover here at KocoSports.net. That's KOCSport.net. It's where the world goes to catch and combat sports. Where it's okay to be a passionate fan. I absolutely love to do that. I absolutely adore doing that. I really do. That's my favorite thing in the world to do. Okay, have you ever saw any wrestling related cosplays in your life? I'm going to be honest, FD, my friend. I have no clue what that means. How could Austin been better as a heel? Dude, Austin was incredible. I'm not going to tell us Austin how to do his job. Why did Russo book the celebrity to win the WCW title? Publicity. In the end of the day, people are like, holy fuck, that guy won the WCW World Championship. I'm going to tune into Thunder to see what happened and why it happened. Just TV ratings. He cares. He's a writer of a television show. He wants people to tune into the TV show because his job is to get the ratings up. Dude, that actually made so much sense in my brain right there that I'm actually no longer going to hear anyone insult Vince Russo ever again. Next time I hear someone diss Vince Russo, it's going to be apologize to Rick Rude. Apologize to Rick Rude. By the way, since tomorrow's the Super Bowl, are you excited for that? I'm English. I'm not watching the Super Bowl. Why couldn't Vince keep WCW still as a brand instead of getting rid of it? Because basically what happened is, if I remember correctly, I've read some sources because I was a big fan of the Attitude and the invasion angle, and I did a bit of research. And basically what happened was Vince trialed that with Booker T versus Buff Bagwell, but apparently it got such a negative response, and the networks just weren't interested in it anymore. So that's why. Cosplays are basically fans dressing up as wrestling stars. Oh yeah, all the time. I mean, when I go to the O2 Arena for WWE, there's always these guys who one dresses as Bret Hart, one does Hulk Hogan, one does I can't remember the other guys. But I remember coming out because when you come out of a wrestling building, everyone's still going crazy because obviously they've had a few to drink, especially in England, us dodgy boozers. Basically, what happened was I remember clear as a day. Sorry, stuttering like a bitch, absolute imbecile. I hate stuttering. Biggest pet peeve when I watch a podcast when it stutters. Oh. Throw a flag on me. Throw a flag. Anyway, I digress. Back to the point. And I remember it was Hogan was body slamming Bret Hart on the outside floor, and he legit looked like he hurt himself. The crowd, because we were walking past to go to the train station, all you hear was ooh ah, and we're like, what the fuck's going on? Hogan's there, and then they throw each other into the barricade because obviously the barricade you walk and the barricade moves, and the security guard goes over. Oh, it was a great experience, great night. Did people tune to that WCW when that celebrity won? I don't know. I guess so. I mean, I have no clue. I was about 4 years old when that happened. I don't know. Any chance that any of the current injury roster right now in the WWE will return before WrestleMania? Yeah, potentially Cena could come back. I mean, he's big match John. Maybe he wants to have one big match at Mania. Maybe face Taker. That could be interesting. Do you think Brian is returning this Raw? No. There's more chance of the Pope Scooby diving through this window and jerking me off than that happening. Believe me, Brian will not be back on Monday. This always happens. It always does. The worst match was a match I saw at a local show. The company is called EOW, and you can find a few videos of the company on YouTube. Okay, that's from Crazy J Ray. So make sure you type in EOW if you want to watch some of the worst pro wrestling on the planet. What about Seth Rollins? No, I think Seth Rollins will be out for a while now. If I remember rightly, he isn't scheduled to be back for a few more months. I mean, I know he does CrossFit, and they're really healthy human beings. Believe me, at the gym, whenever I see, because there's a little CrossFit area, it's a very tiny little area, and whenever I see anyone over there, they're always in tip-top shape, and they always are incredible athletes. So Seth Rollins is an incredible athlete, and it's funny, it's a professional wrestler being a paid athlete. He's in great shape, and he's the world champion. You got Roman Reigns in great shape. He was the world champion. Sheamus in great shape. He was the world champion. If you're in great shape, you get world championships. Okay, yeah, be coming with me. FD, do you like Japanese anime? No, I'm not into this. It was kind of funny because when I went to Birmingham to watch a Shinedown concert, it was Shinedown, Blackstone Cherries, and Hellstorm. It was a very good concert. Really enjoyed myself. Great experience. I went on Tuesday. That's why there was no podcast on Tuesday, and I do apologize about that for having a social life. Anyway, we went there, and I went with there was 5 of us, and 3 of them were like huge fans of this anime gimmick. I remember we went in HMV, which is like a superstore where they sell CDs, DVDs, and they were looking at box sets for these animes, Japanese style. And it was really strange. They were like £18, £19 for this box set. And I'm like, no, I'm sticking to Netflix, and I'm not interested. Like I said, if I'm not going to bash them for liking that, if you like that, that's your opinion. You can like whatever the fuck you want. Who am I to judge? Dave Meltzer said there's a chance he could be there. Of course he did. He could be there. He just won't be wrestling. Like, he could come out for a pop. But you got to remember, he's the guy that said CM Punk's going to be at WWE in Chicago. And CM Punk's in UFC right now. So take his words with a grain of salt, or just don't listen to him at all like I do. Where are we? Do the show. Dave Meltzer. If so, any chance of anime gimmick for a wrestler in the future? I don't know what an anime gimmick is, so I do apologize. The slut was good in bed. Rey Mysterio, you toilet. You absolute toilet. Why? Go for the nice people, Rey. This is a Q&A, because this is really off topic, so you can send in what you want. Just no porn questions. This questions I don't mind. So you dumped your girlfriend, if right. So we're just so everyone can understand. So come on this journey with me. The story being told right now by your friend, okay? So if I remember, Rey Mysterio, you were having problems with your girlfriend. So you dumped your girlfriend. Then you said you're going on a date with a slut. Should I go on the date with the slut? I said, no, go out with a nice person. You go on and decide to sleep with a slut. Disappointed. FD puts, I'd be awed if I saw a wrestler with a Dragon Ball Z gimmick like Goku. Yeah, I saw those Dragon Ball Z gimmicks in the shop. I could see that happening. Maybe in Lucha Underground. If you're a fan of Lucha Underground, maybe you might get it there. But, I'm not sure. Again, I'm going to see if any more live comments. So I'm going to refresh the gimmick on the phone. If you're wondering whenever I'm looking like this and reading the live comments, it's because I'm reading off my phone, because then it doesn't lag any of the internet. You can get 100% guaranteed, no stopping, no buffering. Have you watched anything from AAA Lucha Libre? I tried to watch Triple Mania last year, but the stream and the commentary from Josh Matthews... sorry, I just hate Josh Matthews. That's just my TNA hatred in me. The Matt Striker and Hugo Svanovich. Those two did the commentary, and it was absolutely atrocious. This is from Races Fan Rocks 4. How do you think the next how do you think? Sorry, that's meant to be. Who do you think the next wrestler in WWE from Finland will be? No, I'm not sure. I don't know anyone from Finland. The only people I know from Finland, Kimi Räikkönen, Miki Häkkinen, because they're Formula One racers. Apart from that, I don't know them. She was hot. I needed to release stress. Dude, you're the king of the porn questions. You just do one yourself, my son. Jesus Christ, if I just bang so stressed every Monday Night Raw, I'll be like, Coco, I will not be doing a Monday Night Raw review. I'm down the prostitution camp. Like, bro, dude, have some self-control and self-respect, Rey Mysterio. FD puts any chance for Malaysian wrestlers to be big in the main wrestling companies. We here in Malaysia have a number of potential future stars. I can't say. I've never looked into, in all due respect, I've just never watched any Malaysian wrestling. If when this show is finished, when it's off air, put in the link, some Malaysian companies. You're giving them now in the live comments. Don't put them in the live comments. Wait for the show to be over, because once this show ends, these live comments are gone. I can never see them again. So when the show airs, when there's actual comments below the video, not to the side, then put that in the comments. Give me some links so I can check out some of the potential future stars over there. She wouldn't do anal. Just if you paid for her, you should get what you pay for. Who do you think can do a hockey gimmick in WWE? That's from Racist Fan Rocks 4. I'm not sure. I mean, I was a fan of Team Canada back in TNA in 2005. Yes, I am a fan of TNA. But, well, I am sometimes when the product's good. But, I don't know, it's really difficult because any gimmick can work if it's the right guy. Look at Undertaker's gimmick. If you said to me, will a dead man gimmick work? I'd say no. I would say no. No, that's absolutely idiotic. It's just a guy who's playing the character and how much the company, Vinnie Mac, the toilet, has faith in him and how far he'll push him. What gimmicks do you like? It depends. If I'm watching sports entertainment, I'm a fan of characters like Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins and Triple H, like badass motherfucking heels. I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of you. When I'm watching pro wrestling, I don't want a character. I'm not interested in characters. I'm interested in the person. I want them to be as real as possible. Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Jay Lethal, AJ Styles, pro wrestlers, you connect to them because of their work and that the story they tell and the emotion that they put their bodies through. Anyways, thanks for the great time. I'll give you the info on Malaysian pro wrestling industry. You'll be interested. Okay, if I can see it, I'll be fine. Then we got Victor Varela. The Canadian Destroyer is the best move. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that move. I mean, I remember Evolve 53 or 54. Make sure you check out my review on the archives. Bill Carr from Team Tremendous hit one, and I marked out like a bitch. Until then, this is FD reminding you that if you don't break your limit, I'll break you. Bang. Okay, FD, thank you. I hope you have a good time. I have to ask this. If the Sunny Videos is free, would you watch it? Rey Mysterio. Oh, dude. This is brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story. This could get me in trouble. This is me and Boom Boobs, okay? So after I think it was either the NXT or the Ring of Honor review went off the air, okay? We were just talking. We were just shooting the breeze, just having a chat. And then he was like, yeah, come see this. So he screen shared so I could see his screen. Okay, so he was showing me one of these tabs. I could see on his other tabs that there was a dodgy site. I was like, Booms, what's that? He's like, oh, I found the Sunny part of it. He clicks it, plays like the first 5 seconds of it. We both turn away and look and go, oh, that's gross. He shut it down in a heartbeat. And it was just, she was like in bed. She was in like this pink underwear and she was getting absolutely rode from behind. It was absolutely revolting. It was absolutely disgusting. I was officially ashamed. So yeah, there is out. And the website that was used is xnxx.com. That's the website he was using. It was absolutely fucking hysterical. So yeah, Booms had it loaded up. So I don't know what Booms is doing over that, all right? I have no clue. Booms could be the one there. That was very entertaining, and hopefully he doesn't get me in trouble for that. What indie wrestler company do you... Racist Fan Rocks S4, what indie wrestling company do you recanammed? Buddy, put that back, reword that, and then I'll definitely do that one for you. By the way, where can I post the info on Malaysian Pro Wrestling to you? Twitter should be fine, right? Yeah, Twitter @LK Wrestling. If you just send me a link, I will happily watch some of the stuff. If you were here we go, Raymond. If you were the owner of a company, what would it be named and who would be the face of the company? Oh, okay. If I owned a company, here we go, off the top of my head, here we go. We got BCW, okay, British Championship Wrestling. It would be the best. I wouldn't have any imports at all. Just British, okay, just British. Okay, so I'd have Will Ospreay, Marty Scurll, Mark Andrews, Who else we got? We got Nathan Cruz would be my top heel. Nathan Cruz would be my heavyweight champion of the world. El Ligero, Dave Reigns, he's very entertaining. Grado for the fan reaction. It would be a pure pro wrestling company. It would be like Ring of Honor. It's all about the championship. I'd have a ranking system for the belt. There'll be number of contenders. It'd just be absolutely magnificent. But that's never going to happen because I'm not a millionaire. TNA, when it's watchable. Yeah, when it's watchable. Dude, everyone gets this impression I hate TNA. I don't hate TNA. In fact, I want TNA to be good. Because the way I see it, the more people that watch TNA on a week-to-week basis, if the product's good, the more people that will watch the Impact review. It's really that simple. Thanks, man. Well, thanks, man. Take care and have a great one. You too, FD. Thank you for watching. Would it be like ROH? Yeah, it would be like Ring of Honor. That's what I'm a fan of. Pure as a sport. That's what I would have it. See if we've got any more live comments. That I might call it a day. So at the moment, again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe on this video. I'm going to see if we've got any more live comments, and if not, I'm going to call it a night. Yep, so no more live comments. So thank you for sticking with me for this long. Thank you for all the great questions. And there was pretty much no porn questions apart from the one. So very good job, team. We talked some Malaysian wrestling. We talked some Finland pro wrestling. We talked about Bret Hart and Axel Rotten. We talked about NXT results. We got Dempsey being released, Kong being released. We talked TV ratings. We talked injuries. We talked Fastlane. We've talked WrestleMania. We've talked Independence. We've talked Ring of Honor. This has been a great time. It really has. Thank you for everyone who's joined me live. Thank you for everyone who's watching this on the on-demand section. Make sure you keep the comments coming below. It means a lot. Like, comment, subscribe. ProWrestling.me. Sign up. It's 110% completely free. KocoSports.net. That's KoCSports.net. Where the world goes to kick out. Oh, stuttered there. I'm doing that again. I'm not doing a Coco where it ends like that. It has to end on a hot note. That's KocoSports.net. That's KoCSports.net. Where the world goes to kick out. Showing for combat sports. And above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Imagine having to do that every single outro. That being said, make sure you all have a great Sunday. Appreciate your family. Have a roast dinner, as us English people will be doing. Stay safe, stay well. See you tomorrow for main event and SmackDown review, so be on the lookout for them. Make sure you check out our podcast we did yesterday. We did a TNA Impact Wrestling review, a Ring of Honor Wrestling review the day before, me and Booms. Me and Coco also did a Lucha Underground review. And also I did a fancy booking WrestleMania 32 card. So there's plenty of content if you haven't joined me live over the past few days. And if you have over the past few days, give yourself a Barry Horowitz and a tilt of the cap. Thank you so much for being such great audience. You've been a great time. Stay safe, stay well. Have a nice day. And I'll catch your asses down the line.